Hey everyone, if you are an international student and you are here on an F1 visa, by here I mean in the US, you would have probably heard about OPT, EAD, post OPT, pre OPT, CPT, and a lot of other stuff. And especially if you are about to graduate, you would be hearing about this quite often now. So, what exactly are they? How do they work? What you should keep in your mind? I'll be discussing everything in this video. Just a quick introduction. Myself Ayush Kumar and I am here in Arizona State University. I'm pursuing my master's, my MS in computer engineering, and I'll be graduating in May 25. By the way, I am on 100% scholarship. If you have not watched my previous videos, please do that. And what I'll be discussing in this video, just to let you know, I have a script written here in front of me. Not exactly a script, but very important points that I feel that it is necessary to discuss with you. So what is OPT, what is EAD, how to apply for it, timelines and important dates, should you travel during your OPT, and the mistakes that you should avoid. Without wasting any further time, let's get straight to the video. So section 1, what is OPT? So OPT stands for optional practical training, which allows F1 students to work in their field of study for up to 12 months after graduation. But if you are in a STEM field, a STEM major, you can extend it by another 24 months, which brings it to a total of 36 months. OPT is like, it allows you to shift your status from just an F1 normal F1 student to F1 OPT. You can think of it as another level. So your I-20 gets transferred to F1 OPT. Here you do not need any job to apply for OPT. You can work for any employer after you get your OPT and your EAD, but it should be related to your major, like your domain, about whatever you have studied. OPT is different from CPT. Obviously, OPT is something that you do after your studies, and CPT is something that allows you to work full time while you're pursuing your education. So after you get your OPT, you generally get it from your DSO. DSO is your officer at your university. Then you can apply for EAD. So EAD stands for Employment Authorization Document, where you have your start date and end date. Like, you would be authorized to work from a start date to an end date, and US government would be authorizing you to do so, obviously. So sometimes people generally call this an OPT card, but in general it is just an EAD card. So you cannot start working unless and until you have your EAD card in hand. Your EAD card has your begin date and your end date, and generally it is similar to your OPT status. Like, but what I mean is, like, if your OPT starts from date X and it ends at day Y, most probably your EAD would be the same. So the EAD processing time can take from 1 month to 5 months. So generally people suggest to apply as early as possible, and EAD card is something which is very important for you to continue your employment or also to start your employment. Now section 3, how to apply for OPT and EAD. In fact, I'll be graduating in May 25, I just told you guys, and I am in the process of applying for my OPT and my EAD. I'm thinking to make a very dedicated video for us, the international students who are on F1 visa. That way it would be helpful to you also, and maybe another few, like the students who would be coming in the future. So I'll be just telling you the steps in short. Step 1 would be get a recommendation from your DSO. Your DSO is the person, the officer in your university who allows you, or I should say who recommends you to the US government. I would recommend this student getting an OPT and then getting an EAD card. So he stamps your I-20, and your I-20 is then transferred to a new status like an F1 OPT. After that, you file your I-765 form at USCIS, which is the application for your EAD. Now, once you apply, you generally have to wait for 90 days to 120 days to get your EAD in hand. You get to know about your status within 60 days, 70, 80 days, something like that. So the USCIS would let you know that whether it has been approved or not. If it is approved, it generally takes 2 to 3 weeks to deliver your card at your place. Once you receive your EAD card, you are free to start your employment because it will have that start date. be very mindful that you would not know your start date unless and until you have it in your hand. The status on the portal just shows that it is approved, but the date is not visible. So yeah, just a thing that I wanted to share with you. Section 4, OPT timelines and important dates. Very confusing for a lot of students, but I'll try to simplify it for you. Firstly, you need to apply for your post-OPT I-20. After you get your post-OPT I-20, you have to apply for your EAD card. Now there is a time frame for that. Your EAD card can be applied 90 days before you graduate. So I am graduating on 12th May 2025. The earliest date I can apply for an EAD card is 11th February 2025. Before 11th February, like 10 days before, ISSC opened up the portal to apply for post OPT I-20 that happens to be in your college. So this happens before you graduate, but many people can take advantage of that and may not even apply. So US government has made a rule that after you graduate, you have 60 days within which you have to apply for your I-20. Now once you apply for your post OPT I-20, within that 60 days itself, you have to apply for your EAD card as well. Keep in mind that even if you get it later on, no problem, but within that 60-day limit after you graduate, you have to apply, otherwise you'll have to leave the country. You'll be out of status. So within that 60 days, apply for your post OPT I-20, and after you get your I-20, you have to apply for your EAD card. After you get your EAD card, no matter if you applied it before, if you applied it afterwards, you will have to have a job within 90 days from the date that is mentioned in your EAD card. Let's suppose if my EAD card comes and 1st June 2025 is the start date for my employment, I will have to have a job within 90 days from 1st June 2025. I hope I'm trying to make it very clear. The points that I've written are very simplified. My only motive is to make sure that you understand this, because this is very important. There might be some cases where you need to have your EAD card a little early. So then comes two things in mind. Like if you have applied through normal processing, it would take 90 to 120 days. If you opt for the premium processing, it would take generally 30 to 40 days and it will be in your hand. But the normal charges is I guess $470, and the premium processing fee is $1,600 something. Take your decision on your own. What's your case? Do you need it urgently? If yes, go for the premium processing, no doubt. Now, should you travel during your OPT? Yes, why not? But it is not recommended to travel when you have applied for your EAD card and you do not have your EAD card in hand, because USCIS may deny your application if you are outside US. So be very mindful that you are in the US while your application is still under process. After your EAD applies, you can travel, have a valid F1 visa, have a valid passport, valid I-20 with travel signature, your EAD card, and a job offer letter, which is highly recommended. Now coming to the last section, what are the mistakes that you should avoid? I would suggest avoid applying too late for your EAD card. Why? Because after you graduate, employers generally look for candidates who have an EAD card and can begin their work as soon as possible. So if you get your job and then you apply, so it would take 90 days to 120 days. So that is something that I would suggest you to avoid. So apply for your EAD as soon as possible, and after you get your EAD, you have to upload your employer details at your in Sevis. So that is another process. I'll be telling it in another video. And please do not work without receiving your EAD. You will jeopardize your status. Please do not do that, and keep a track of your unemployment date. Let's suppose you got your EAD card, and I told you that you have 90 days. If that 90-day mark crosses, you can get out of status. So you need to have a job, even if it is a volunteer job, no problem. It is just that it should be related to your major, and then you'll be fine. And traveling without proper documents is obviously not suggested, because it is risky and it may lead to denial of re-entry in the US. I hope I was able to make you understand, and if you have any other doubts, please make sure to drop a comment. I'll try my level best to reply. If not, You can message me on my Instagram or maybe on my LinkedIn. I'll be very sure to reply you back as soon as possible. Please do subscribe to the channel, like the video and comment. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye. And most probably the next one would be a very detailed step-by-step video where I'll be telling how to apply for your post I-20 and your EAD card with USCIS. I'll see you. Bye bye.